Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at dealing with the Modoks in chapter 2.2 in variant 1. I just finished this chapter recently and the Modoks were very annoying. The first reason being is you can only bring Tech and Mystic into these two chapters, so you can't bring in someone like Blade with his danger sensibility and take them out. Now the first one on the right, he's got every 7 seconds the next debuff triggered on this champion is immediately removed. Each time the effect's triggered, they regenerate 5% of their max health. So that includes parry stun, so you gotta watch that. Lots of regeneration going on there. Plus he has cornered, so if you bleed him or poison him, he gets 300% more power gain. And he's actually the easier of the two. The other one over here on the left has an aggressive fury every 2 seconds on the timer. Gain a fury passive, increasing attack by 50% per stack. He does insane amount of damage if you let him hit you. There's one point in one of my videos which I'll show where I mess up and he does 2 million points of damage, over 2 million. Plus he's stun immune, plus he has cornered as well. So we're going to take a look at both these champs and how I dealt with them, mostly using Stark Spider-Man, but also I showed some Sentinel gameplay. And any champ that can hit pretty hard on the block is going to be your friend here if you wanted to skate by it. I didn't do the Beto heavies and let him hit me with block damage. I did it a totally different method, so let's take a look. Okay, we're going to start off with the Modok on the left hand side. This Modok has Fury every 2 seconds when you don't hit him. He's stun resistant, he has his crazy shields as you see there. And he has cornered if you happen to get a bleed or a poison or some sort of a damage over time, he will gain power. So he's very annoying, plus you can only bring in a Tech or a Mystic champ. So after a couple rounds of getting my butt kicked, I started thinking that maybe I should just go for the block, hitting the block. So bringing in a champ that can do a lot of damage on the block, such as Stark Spider-Man with his poise charges, was the way to go for me. Intercepting here and there when you could. I didn't do a lot of intercepting this video just because it was only the 3rd or 4th time I've ever used this particular champ. I just recently got Stark Spider-Man and recently awakened him. So my plan is to evade the SB1, hit 4 times, never hit 5 times. Intercept if you can, though not too many intercepts in this video, but I'll show you some more intercepts when I use my 4-star. Attack when he does his heavy attack when he does SB1, and never get hit. Even if Modok hits me on the block, I'm dead. I'll show you at the end of this part of the video. I basically take 2 million points of damage when I mess up on a run when I was trying to make a video. So here's an intercept. So yeah, he's pretty difficult. He's really annoying, and without champs like Blade and Ghost Rider to do danger sense, he's even more annoying. He's a tough champ. I find he's a tough champ. I'm sure other people maybe find him easier. And I don't have a lot of tech options except for Stark Spider-Man now, which is nice, and Star-Lord. But since the poise charges, bringing him up to 10 is pretty easy because you're constantly evading specials. And his dash-in attacks, you can get 10 poise charges pretty quick, and you can maintain them for the whole fight. Now I find this the harder of the two Modoks. This is the stun-resistant one. It's really good to try to push him back as much as possible, because if he goes on a run where he wants to keep on coming at you, he'll get you to the wall. And you do not want to be at the wall with this Fury. So there you have it. He's out. Now we'll move on to what happens when you actually mess up. Right after I kill him. There we go. Okay, I want to show you what happens when you totally mess up. I was doing pretty good in this round. You gotta remember this particular Modok is gaining Furies every 2 seconds when you don't hit him. I'm not talking about block hitting, I'm just talking about regular hitting. So basically any hit that he does, even against your block, he's going to kill you. And he happens to break my block here. He gets out of it, he comes at me like a maniac. And look at that damage. Is that 2,147,483,647 points of damage? I think it is, if I'm reading it right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a huge amount of damage. So if you go with this method, it's a high-risk method because you're just hitting the block. If you mess up and he hits your block or he tags you, it's over. Now, if you do the other methods, such as baiting out heavies or intercepting, you will have the option to bring down his fury some, but they're going every 2 seconds and they add up pretty quick, and 5, 6, 7, 8 furies, he's going to kill you anyway. I'm sure he had like 50 or 60 or 70 when he hit me here, but I just wanted to show you the kind of damage he does if he happens to tag you. So let's take a look at the next fight. So next we're going to go to the right hand side in variant 1, chapter 2.2, the Modok on the right side. He is easier than the one on the left side in my personal opinion. He regenerates on debuffs, so even a parry stun will regenerate him. He has cornered as well, the 300%, so he gains a lot of power. He hits very hard, but he doesn't hit like the other one on the left hand side because he doesn't gain fury. He also is not stun resistant, so he's a little bit easier if you feel like stunning him. Technically, you wouldn't be able to stun him the first time, but you could stun him while his debuff is down, but then he's going to regenerate. And he regenerates quite a lot. So I decided to go with the same method, intercepting and hitting the block. 4 hits to the block, back out. 4 hits to the block, or an intercept as you saw there. Now you don't have to intercept if you're not good at it. I was a little more skillful in intercepts this fight because I used Stark probably around 10 times by now. So I was kind of getting used to how he works. Always retaliating after the SP1, always retaliating after a heavy attack. Being careful with that power. If he goes over 1 bar of power, make sure... I would not hit him on the block if he's going over 1 bar of power. Just kind of dash back because he likes to throw that special one so quickly. Now this is a 4-star, obviously. It's a 4-star Stark Spider-Man, 550. I did the same thing with a 5-star rank 3 unduped. I'm going to show you some Sentinel play coming up here. Basically champs that can do a half decent amount of damage by hitting the block are the way to go in my personal opinion. Obviously if we had a blade with Ghost Rider we could use him, but since you can only use Tech or Mystic, that's not going to happen in this particular variant quest. I'm thinking True Strike would be nice here too. I can't think of any True Strike, Tech, or Mystic champions at the top of my head. So write that in the comments if you know of any. I just can't think of any at the moment. So I'm not going to show you the whole fight. We'll bring him down to about half just to show you how it works. Then we'll bring in Sentinel to show you that you don't need Stark Spider-Man to do everything. Just a lot of going in, hitting that block. You seem to get a few more hits in on this particular one on the right. I'm up to 21 hits. I think the one on the left I only got 10 hits the whole fight. Once in a while he breaks out of that block, and when he does you gotta be ready, as you saw just there a moment ago. It's very dangerous. So let's take a look at Sentinel. So bringing in Sentinel just to show you another option. He's unduped, he's a 6-star R1. Same technique, going in, hitting the block, intercepting if you can. Getting your analysis charges up as fast as possible. If you're duped, they'll actually go up a lot faster, obviously. So you'll hit a little harder. He's a lot more bulky, so it's a little different fighting with him. You don't have that auto evade like you have with the Stark Spider-Man at some points if you mess up. Get some intercepts in. Now I even tried before just to do the heal blocking with the SB1, but he just regenerates so much and he's immune to the debuffs anyway. It just didn't work out very well. Just a lot of hits to the block. Attack after that heavy attack if you can. So you can see that other champs besides Stark Spider-Man can do damage. It's not impossible. You can bring anybody in. Just try to pick somebody. If you're going to do this method, try to pick somebody that's going to do some half decent damage. Never hit 5 times in a row because he likes to jump out there. I noticed when you're fighting with Sentinel that he seems to break out of the block a lot more than he did with Stark Spider-Man, which is interesting. See, I didn't hit him anymore when he got to SB1, just because if he jumps out of that block, he would have used it right away. So there you have it, guys. Just some options on how to take out these 2 Modoks. They're very annoying. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me who you used and what you used or how you plan to take them on. And I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and please don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Take care, all.
Target identified. Analysis complete. Please subscribe.